What's up, Endurifiers? This is Mario, and I'm back with another episode of Endurify. And today, since it is Mother's Day at the time of this recording, I've got to start off with a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are out there. And so I am super lucky to be surrounded by some amazing moms. First of all, like my own mom, Sylvia. She's an amazing mom. She raised myself and my two other siblings and has always been just so like loving and caring and supportive. And then also my wife, Emily, who is a mother to our daughter, Ellie. At least first with my mom, she was always so supportive of us growing up in team sports. So growing up, I played football and baseball and basketball and was like always doing kind of team activities. But then even when I got into triathlons, even though she didn't really understand it, she was always very supportive. And the moment and the kind of the time that sticks out to me was actually during my first half Ironman. And if you've listened to the podcast, then you know you're familiar with this story. But basically, my first half Ironman was in 2016. I trained for like 5 or 6 months, and I didn't really I bought a training plan. I put the time in. But I didn't really know a lot about nutrition. And so then when I showed up on race day, it was like 90 or 95 degrees. It was super hot, super humid, and I didn't have a very detailed nutrition plan. So I would just kind of drink or eat whenever I was feeling it. But like a few miles into the run, I just was just completely shut down, and I basically just completely lost all of my energy, and I bonked. And I was super thirsty, so I'd stop and I would chug a bunch of water at one of the aid stations. And then because I drank too much and because I was so dehydrated, I ended up puking. And so it was this super rough experience of like walking, chugging, puking, walking, chugging, puking. And so my mom and my dad, they drove like 4.5 hours to see me do this race. And it was the first time that my mom had ever even seen me do a triathlon. So it was all like very new to her. And my first race, her son, her baby boy, is just like struggling mightily. And it got to the point where it was like so bad, I had to walk in front of my parents. And after, training for a super long time, it was like really hard. It was kind of really embarrassing to have to walk in front of them. And basically I was walking, and there was this picture that I don't know who actually took it. Might have been my dad or somebody, took this picture of my mom coming up to me and kind of putting her arm around me as I have my head down and I started to walk. I've got like my arms down like at my sides, my head is down, and my mom's got her arm around me, and she's telling me hey, you don't need to do this, you can just quit, it's okay. And telling me that she loves me and things like that. And it is honestly one of my favorite pictures with my mom, because it was me in one of my lowest moments in something that means so much to me, which is a triathlon and an endurance event. And she's right there with me, supporting me, just like, all moms really do. Because what moms want, and I understand this as a parent now, is you just want what's best for your kids. And you want them to know that they're loved and supported, and that you're there for them in those low moments when they need you. And so it is just such an amazing picture, and it, when you see it, you would understand. And I actually posted this picture in a triathlon Facebook group called the Pathetic Triathletes, and it got over 1,000 likes and hearts, and there were like almost 200 different comments, and people were saying, that's an epic picture, a special moment between a mom and her son. Your mom is amazing. Moms are the best. And it just basically there was a lot of support from it. But it's something that I'm going to remember, I think, for the rest of my life. And it's something that I am just so appreciative of my mom being there for me in that moment. And even though her message wasn't the best of, you can just quit, it like her actions and just being there meant everything to me. And so just wanted to kind of share that story and just say thank you to my mom for her support and for everything that she's done for me. And also, like for the people that are listening to this, talk to your talk to your mom, talk to your parents if you can, and tell them how much they mean to you. Because when I think about this podcast, and I think about endurance, endurance is the ability to continue or last despite the stress or adverse conditions that stand in your way. And I think that having parents and having a supportive family and a supportive system around you is really the only way that you can continue or last despite things that get in your way. A lot of times when you are going through something as challenging as an endurance event, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be things in your way, and that's when you need the support of your family to help you get through it. Just like it did help me get through that endurance event. After that little talk from my mom, I kind of kept going, and I decided I wanted to finish, and I pushed through, and I kind of jogged, ran, crossed the finish line, and it was the hardest thing that I'd ever done at that point in time. But because I was able to get through that, I felt like if I could do that, then I could do anything. And then I went on and I completed a full Ironman the next year. And so that has kind of led me to, training for all sorts of races. It's led me to getting into ultra marathons, and it's ultimately led me to starting this podcast and trying to put out content every single day about the lessons that I'm learning, and doing that in a way where I hope it can inspire other people and help other people become the best version of themselves. And so that is another thing that I feel like moms help us become the best version of ourselves. So just wanted to do a quick little share about my mom, about that story, and I hope that helps. So I love you, Mom, and I'll talk to y'all later.